In every era of human history, crimes have been defined by action, violence, betrayal, and corruption. But in the ancient world, sometimes the most unforgivable crime was just a thought, a question, or a moment of hesitation. Tonight, we uncover the fate of a woman who committed no murder, stole no treasure, betrayed no lover, and yet suffered one of the most chilling punishments ever recorded. This is the story of Lot's wife, and you're watching A Veil of Crime, where we peel back the layers of guilt, consequence, and the shadows left behind. Sodom, the city whose name became synonymous with corruption. According to ancient Near Eastern texts in the book of Genesis, it was a prosperous settlement strategically placed, culturally sophisticated, and fiercely independent. But beneath that prosperity simmered unrest, violence, and moral conflict. Archaeologists have long debated its location. Many point to the southeastern rim of the Dead Sea, an area prone to earthquakes, gas eruptions, and burning sulfur deposits, a disaster waiting for a spark. For Lot's family, Sodom wasn't a metaphor. It was a home, messy, imperfect, but theirs. In the ancient world, strangers were potential threats or divine messengers. When two travelers arrived at Lot's doorstep, they brought with them a warning of absolute urgency. Gather your family, leave this place, and whatever happens, do not look back. A simple command, but a command that demanded more than obedience. It demanded severing ties with everything familiar. The dawn of destruction came suddenly. Ancient texts describe sulfur raining from the sky. Cities turned to ash. Modern scientists propose a massive seismic event or meteor airburst, similar to the 1908 Tunguska explosion igniting bitumen and gas fields in the region, a natural catastrophe on a biblical scale. Lot, his daughters, and his wife fled through chaos. Behind them, the world they knew collapsed in fire. Imagine the noise, the unbearable heat, the screams from a city consumed. And imagine what it means to leave behind your home, your memories, your neighbors, without even a final glance. And then she turned. What was she feeling? Fear? Grief? A mother checking if her family was safe? A woman mourning a past she was being told to abandon forever? In the eyes of ancient storytellers, her look wasn't curiosity. It was defiance, a refusal to cut ties with a condemned world. In a culture where obedience to divine command meant survival, even a backwards glance carried the weight of rebellion. Her body stiffens, salt crystals form, she becomes still. The text tells us she became a pillar of salt instantly. Some see symbolism. Others speculate about chemical reactions triggered by exposure to toxic gases. But regardless of the mechanism, her fate became legend. For thousands of years, travelers have pointed to a solitary salt tower on the western cliffs of the Dead Sea. They whispered, "There, that is Lot's wife." Of course, we know geology also naturally forms these structures. But the human urge to name them, to connect them to stories, shows the power of her tale. Because Lot's wife represents something universal: the cost of regret, the danger of dwelling in the past, the tragedy of being unable to let go. She is the embodiment of a moment we've all known, the split second when the heart turns backward, even as the future demands we run forward. Lot's wife didn't commit a crime in the way that we understand it today. Her sin was deeply human: hesitation, longing, the need to see what was being lost. But in the story, that humanity cost her everything. Her pillar stands as a warning carved by myth and memory. Sometimes the past is a place that cannot be returned to, and sometimes looking back is the most dangerous act of all. Thank you for stepping with us into the shadows of ancient judgment. This has been A Veil of Crime. If you want more stories of punishment, mystery, and the hidden crimes of history, subscribe and let the next veil fall.